Hi everyone, Vickieverlie here, Rock and Roll Prophetess. We're going to take a look at the second full moon in Aquarius occurring on August 22nd, 2021 at 8:02 Eastern Time, but 8:02 a.m. Eastern Time, but times will vary. It's occurring at 29 degrees of Aquarius. Now this is the second full moon in Aquarius, which is somewhat of an anomaly. And it's called maybe an astrological blue moon. I saw a couple things online, but it's not technically, I guess, a blue moon is when there's two full moons like in the same lunar calendar, the same month. But this is the second full moon in Aquarius. So usually there's one new moon and one full moon in each sign during the year. So what's interesting is that the first one was on July 23rd at 1 degree of Aquarius, and now this one is on August 22nd at 29 degrees of Aquarius. So it's the beginning and the end. Well, all full moons are ends or culminations in some way often, but it may go back to things that happened around the July 23rd. There could be definitely a connection for just about everybody. So something that was just beginning around July 23rd may be coming to a completion or coming to a culmination or coming to an end here by this August 22nd. You know, it's conjunct Jupiter, so it's really, really emphasized. Jupiter emphasizes even more and expands and makes more of everything that it comes in contact with. But Jupiter also emphasizes like good fortune, good luck. It's considered the planet of good luck and good fortune. So it could almost be a case of all's well that ends well. The guides are throwing in, if you let it. Let me get a quick drink of water. And we'll continue. Yeah, all's well that ends well if you let it. So things are ending well, whether it seems that way or not. Whether you can, even if it's not the outcome that your ego or your mind wants, because the Aquarian energy is very much of the higher consciousness. It's very much of galactic energy. It's it's otherworldly. It's beyond the mundane. It's more of the higher realms. So if you are stuck in a situation in your mind that you feel is negative or not working out the way you are, then it can be. There's higher forces at work during a time like this. I just want to take a quick look at the aspectarian. Yeah, it's conjuncting Jupiter, and it's really not doing anything else directly. So it's just got this one aspect. Well, of course, it's opposing the sun, hence the full moon. But this Jupiter is the only one that's really tied in real strong there. So, it's magnifying, but it's emphasizing the good and the positive. It's the best that, this is the energy of, we like to say we're living our best lives, so this is the energy of the living of the best life. But it's also like in harmony with the collective. It's also in line with our higher purpose. Our higher purpose can be revealed to us through this full moon Aquarius as a collective group of people, humanity, or earthwalkers, as my guides refer to them as, and also as our individual path and our individual north. Saturn's working in that realm too. Saturn is working in the realm of Aquarius as well. So Saturn can be a little bit harsher and kind of try to force you and push you, where Jupiter is much lighter and fun and funnier, and can come to you in ways that are not heavy, that are not, where you're not feeling forced, where you go willingly, is what I'm hearing. Wow. Take me to your leader, go willingly. We'll go willingly, we'll go willingly. I'm totally kidding. But anyways, yeah, but go willingly. We do, we do fight. We do fight against our highest good many times. We fight against what's being presented by the universe. We fight against, when we're the fish swimming upstream, it makes life much more difficult. Things are revealed. The path of least resistance is being revealed. The path of enlightenment, the path of higher, dimensional realities, really, is all that's very much what the Aquarian energy is about. I wouldn't be surprised if there wasn't a bunch of like, disclosure kind of things that popped up around this time. That, I wouldn't be surprised at all. But also, what I'm picking up is like radio waves or some kind of, I've always said from day one on my YouTube channel, the broadcast from the universe, the universe is always broadcasting. But I meant it more in a metaphorical way. Well, I guess not really, but not like radio waves. But they're showing me almost like that, like radio waves. So it's almost as if there may be some kind of like transmission, like that's tangible, like that could be picked up on some sort of a radar or some sort of dialed in, in some kind of tangible way, using the scientific technology that we're all, acclimated with. I'm picking that up. Like they might pick up, there's some new radio wave, or like that movie Contact, where she was getting the blip, and then it turned out it was whatever, coming from another planet, or so they thought. You have to watch it. A great movie. If you ever saw it, please do watch it. It's really cool. But it also, they actually picked it up on their instruments, through those satellite things. So it feels like there's something like that going on. Like maybe that's going to be like the next wave of communication. Many of us have been in touch with and channeling higher dimensional beings for some time now. And so that's the first, feels like the first kind of thing. And then we're all like, well, when are they going to land? We want disclosure, blah, blah, blah. Maybe the next would be something more along those lines, something more, a radio signal. I don't know, that's just what I'm picking up, like some kind of strange or unexplained, quote unquote, unexplained, radio signals, or, so that's what's being shown to me, or something, maybe something audible. Yeah, I don't know. That's what's being shown to me. So let's look at the rest of this chart. But it's, it's powerful, and it's conscious, expansion of consciousness. We have Venus with Vesta over here in Libra. That's beautiful energy too. Vesta, this is a very much a feminine energy, and Libra loves, I don't know if it's feminine for sure, but I think of Libra as feminine. It's Venus in its home sign. Venus is the goddess of love. Vesta was the Vestal Virgins. So there's this feminine energy, and what I get from this is we want to make everything beautiful. They want to make everything beautiful. So there's a lot of wanting to have things be beautiful, wanting to take the energy of the Venus energy. It is opposing Chiron. So, Chiron can be harsh and difficult to deal with, but I feel like it sort of outweighs it. Like it's sort of like, they're showing me kind of like Glinda the Good Witch of the West. It's bringing that energy in. This could be, this could be the lady on the bike. I'll get you and your little dog. But it's kind of like that. That's this contrasting energy. Because that would be the negative. There's a positive and negative, but that's kind of like the downer side of the Chiron and Aries. It can be like really, wow. It could be a little bit on a little touchy, aggressive, touchy, easily, easily excited, but in a bad way. Easily agitated, aggravated, easily ticked off, or getting their, triggered, easily triggered. That's totally the word I want. And then there's this Venus, this is like Glinda saying, hey, hello there, it's a beautiful day, and the sun is shining, and it's noticing all the beautiful good things and emphasizing the beautiful good things, and trying to they're showing me like a paintbrush and rainbows, like painting rainbows, so just look at the positive, look at the silver lining, look at the beauty in life, notice the beauty in life, approach these deep wounding Chiron things in a positive way. Do it through some sort of, the 7th house in Libra is all about partnerships, it's through cooperation and partnership, so instead of being embittered and angry and aggressive over your wounds, somehow try to find a way to turn that around, whether it's through helping somebody else who might be going through a similar thing, or maybe, you know, doing some healing through art. You know, that's as I've mentioned before, if you haven't been watching, but, you know, the healing of the art has really been a healing for me, for sure. You know, it definitely gets you out of your head. It definitely gets you out of your anger, or even through like writing and journaling and things like this. Any sort of creative expression. Channel that anger, hurt, wounds into something positive. You know, that's the message here. This stuff is also making an inconjunct here, or a semi-sextile with Uranus. So breaking free of old modalities, that's what Uranus wants to do, and Uranus is the ruler of this full moon. You know, Uranus wants to break free of the old modalities and move us into the future, move us into, you know, a more harmonious way of being, you know. Wow. Many of us, if you're watching this video, I'm sure you're part of your soul mission is to raise and elevate humanity. And it's not to get you, it's hard, because it seems that from the outside looking in, pre-incarnation, it's like, oh yeah, we can do this, no problem. Yeah, put more on my plate. Yeah, I'll take this, you know, all these wounds and things that we're going to have to endure. And then when you get down here, it's kind of like, yeah, pretty heavy, pretty more than I anticipated here. So through the collective, through the Uranian energy, the Aquarian energy, the 11th house energy, Uranus, Aquarius, 11th house are all the same vibe, the same source. Through that, through the collective joining together in higher resonance, we are able to transcend, or at least give this a rest a little bit. You know, because Aries can be really relentless. Aries is like, go, 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 do, which is, you know, is needed and and can be used for positive things. You know, Aries are the initiators and everything. But when you're constantly, you know, at odds, or constantly, you know, bringing up, or in this friction kind of mode here, it's hard to break free. It's hard to see a different road. It's hard when you can get fixated. Even though Aries isn't a fixed sign, there is a fix, you know, they got their eye, it's like, you know, when the bull sees red or something, you know, and they just can't, you know, they just keep going. So this is a welcome, this could be a welcome break. This could be a welcome seeing things from a higher perspective, not getting so caught up in. Aries is also, you know, the first house, Aries is all about me and my. Well, Venus in Libra wants to look at the other person's perspective, wants to find a compromise, wants to understand, not just drive your point home, bam, 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 I want this, I want Aries with the ramming, you know, ram. And that's good because it can break through barriers. Again, it has its place. But, you know, the Venus and the sharing and the cooperation, and then we bring in the Aquarian energy of, you know, and Venus is also trining Saturn. So that can bring anytime Saturn's involved, we're talking, and the North Node, we've got a grand trine in air, we've got Venus, Saturn, and North Node in the grand trine. Anytime that Saturn's involved, there can always be long-term changes. So you could really change the dynamic and change these old patterns that aren't getting you anywhere. We could really change them, and we could really, I forget what it is, it's something like, if you do something for 21 days, then it becomes a new habit, you know? So this could be like our 21-day challenge, you know, here, as to what new habit are we going to do? How are we going to turn this corner here? And it's trining with the North Node also. It talks about, you know, for the highest good. The North Node is the true North. It's what we're all truly striving for. In our birth chart, it is individually, and then as the node transits, you know, it becomes, as a collective, what we are all collectively going for. And we're going, with the Gemini, is the mind, you know. So we want to change our thinking. We want to change our thinking for long-term things with the Saturn and Aquarius over here. We also have a Mercury conjunct Mars in the sign of Virgo. that could be a little, that could be, you know, it could be great for like going through and, you know, maybe doing your, getting your taxes together, or, you know, clearing out your office, or, you know, going through your computer. Or I just got through changing phones. What fun that is, not, you know, and changing internet providers, you know, all these different, not my favorite thing to do, but it can give you a lot of energy to do those types of things. But that's also that Mars-Mercury, that can really get that mind going. If you don't get a hold of it, it can just run away with you. Your thoughts can really run away with you. And it could be good. I mean, this would be great energy for brainstorming, or working out the kinks in some kind of an idea, or something that's been, like if it's a creative thing that you're doing, maybe a painting that you're stuck on, or if you're writing a script or a story and you're stuck on you know, this certain point, or a song even, you know, this could, you could, you know, by just putting in the elbow grease and the time and the work, you could really get it cleared out. This could also, because it's the 6th house of health, this could also be a good time to go over some of your health things here too, you know. Maybe, you know, who knows what, there's just going to be a million different things, but kind of go over these health things, you know, maybe what kind, you know, if you're taking any kind of supplements or even meds, or, you know, your dietary, you know, any kind of thing that, or, you know, setting up a, you know, planning out a hiking, biking route, or whatever you want to do that's health related, you could really, you know, accomplish a lot in that thing. I just noticed, of course I knew that it was 29, but I just remembered that the sun at 29 degrees of Leo, anytime there's 29 degrees, it's a critical degree. So it's something that we're meant to finish up. And, you know, it's like, okay, last shot, last chance, let's work this out. And 29 degree Leo, that's Regulus, I believe. I believe that's Regulus. And if in somebody's chart, I believe that has to do with royalty or something like that, royalty or power. But look at the dynamic here. Here's this Regulus over here. And then here's all these big players, Saturn and Jupiter and Aquarius. We got the moon there, of course. And then Pluto's going to be joining it too. So we got this almost like a bucket, you know, configuration here with these planets here. So this Regulus thing, the Aquarian nature is completely opposite, and no one is more important than the other. The guys were really talking about that here recently in one of the channel sessions. They were talking about that each spark is needed. You know, each individual spark is needed. That you're not going to just lose your identity. It's what people, I think, they're afraid to lose their identity. But this is about something bigger than that. And I think a lot of this afraid to lose their identity, they want to be, you know, stand out from the crowd or whatever, but afraid to lose your identity, I think a lot of this stems from exactly the opposite of what you think it is. You know, I'm an individual, but really you're trying to fit into some, you know, you're getting this, you're still identifying with some sort of a tribe. Or even if it's the tribe you want to be in. Or an idea or a paradigm where somebody got a lot of attention. That's kind of what I'm leading to, because that could be that Regulus energy. You know, I'm the ruler of all, and look at me, and I'm the best, and I'm powerful over you. And that's, you know, people want to strive to be that, to be the best. You know, I was thinking about that with that Olympics lately. Be the best. You got to be the best. And what if it's more in coming together in the, you know, in the idea of camaraderie and, you know, sportsmanship, you know, having sportsmanship. Some people are so mad competitive, you know, they're just really not good sports, you know. I remember me and my brother, I played everything. I was very athletic growing up. I was on volleyball, tennis, softball, riding bikes, frisbee, you know, always physically active all the time. Well, everybody of my generation, you know, your parents would say, go outside and play. You know, you would just be outside doing stuff, you know, hiking in the woods or whatever, you know, all day. And then you come home while the streetlights were on. So everybody was like fit, out riding around on your bikes like all day and all night. So what was I getting to? Oh, my brother and I, you know, we were very competitive, but in a really good way. Like we spurred each other on. Or even like as we got older, my family had the bar, like just even playing pool. We used to come up with these crazy pool games and, you know, reverse pool and all this stuff. And we were always pushing each other. But like if, like say he made some crazy shot on the pool table, it's like, oh my God, I can't believe you did that. And then I would of course want to try to do it, but I wouldn't get pissed and like, oh, you know, you did it, you know. There was no jealousy or there was no animosity. We were always spurring each other on, even as when we were younger, like playing tennis and different things, and we always would spur each other on through healthy competition and growth. That's how growth happens. Not by being pissed because you're not the best and, you know, all this anger, animosity, envy. You know, that's, you know, this is just law of attraction 101. You know, when you do that, you're hating the thing that you want. You're spewing hatred or negative emotion toward what you want, you know. And that can be a little bit of this in its, you know, because 29 is like exaggerated too. It's to the nth degree, you know, it's the most. So we've got the most, you know, energy of the Leo versus the most energy of the Aquarian. And, you know, competition is great, and as long as it's sportsmanlike, and, you know, I would get it, in other words, we would get excited when, oh, you did, oh my God, I got to do it. It's like that 1 minute mile, you know, when they break the 1 minute mile, then, you know, now these athletes that follow, you know, you take it to the next level, and you stand on the shoulders of those that came before you. You're not bitter and trying to, you know, be mean to them, and you got to be the best because, you know, and outdo everybody and say snarky things and just be an asshole, basically, you know. You know, it's the expansion through. Let's see what we can do next. Let's be excited about what we do next, and if you do it, I can do it, and we each bring to the table our individual spark, our individual talent, our individual contribution to the new whole. You know, we don't just blend into nothing. You know, we're all a piece of the puzzle. We're all a piece of this puzzle, an important piece of the puzzle. When I was doing the channeling, what they were talking about was, well, I came up with it. I said it's kind of like a recipe. Like you can make a recipe, you know, but if you leave out one of the ingredients, it just doesn't taste right. And they agreed, yeah, that would be a good analogy. You know, sometimes, you know, you're cooking something and it's like, oh, dang, I don't have the whatever. I don't have the bay leaf. And you could still make it without the bay leaf, and it would still taste good and be edible and functional. But it just, you know, wasn't quite right without that, just that, or that little pinch of whatever, you know. So that's the way they put it to me, as far as this new paradigm that we are all merging into. Yeah, and with this second full moon in Aquarius, it's like a double dose of it, you know. It's like a double dose of wake up. We're part of the human race here. We're fighting over scraps when there's a whole universe out there. You know, if we would grow up and stop acting like little brat babies. And I say we, you know, I'm in there too. When we grow up, we can go sit at the grown-ups table and be a member of, you know, something much bigger than these little scraps that we're fighting over right now. Okay, let's see what else we got here. Anything else that I'm missing? Yeah, that Mercury, and that's trining that Uranus. Is there a third? It's a loose trine to Pluto, but minds are going, spinning. The wheels are turning in the brain. So minds are really moving. Harness that power in a positive way. Yes, you can do that. You can accomplish a lot. You can be really eloquent. You can really verbalize your feelings even, you know. So a lot of times we have hurt feelings and we have traumas and things that we're trying to get over and whatever, and we just don't know how to verbalize them. We just don't know how to, you know, we respond in anger or, you know, we kind of act like little brats. And me too, you know, we just don't, I'm not calling people names. I'm just like, you know, saying, you know, that's the best word to describe it, you know. This is a more grown-up situation. And it doesn't mean you don't feel your feelings. It's not like robotic or without feeling, no. it's transcending them, you know, into higher vibrational, you know, alignments. Okay, I talked about these grand trines, right? What else is happening? We got Mercury conjunct Mars, Saturn trine the node. We talked about that. Neptune opposed the ascendant, sextile Pluto. Yeah, but Neptune sextile Pluto, I mean, that's been going on forever. That's going to be going on. Transcending our spirituality, transcending, and the Neptune is conjunct Pallas and the part of Fortune. So Neptune is also a doorway or a gateway into higher consciousness, absolutely. But it's more inner. This is outer, like outer space, like out of body, Aquarian, okay? And then the Pisces is more inner, through the soul, through the spirit, the inner realms, the subconscious mind. It's not, this can be the realm of science. This is the realm of emotion. So there's a lot of energy going on there too, and it's being transformed here too with the sextile to the Pluto. So we're having breakthroughs in our emotional, in our pain bodies too. You know, our pain bodies. They're showing me like just wounds healing over time. I was amazed by that because I don't post any pictures because it was so nasty. But I had a major. I shredded my finger. You probably still can't even see it. But I shredded my finger in my hedge clippers not too long ago. And I couldn't play music for a while either because of it. And it's the body healing itself is just a freaking miracle, man. I mean, I'm just watching. It's almost completely healed, and it was a mangled mess, you know. And I had what, how many stitches? I don't know, like 10 stitches or something, in my little, just on my fingertip. It was just a mangled mess. And then it was, you know, it's been a while. It's taken, but it's just amazing how the body, and we take that. So that's a miracle. It's a miracle. But we take it for granted. It's like, yeah, of course, you cut your finger, it's going to heal, you know. You skin your knee, it's going to heal. But that is a miracle. So there's miracles happening all the time, and there's healing happening all the time. But if we have to just embrace it and allow it, there's no, we don't have to necessarily, I think there's nothing that can't be healed. That's the bigger message in there. There's nothing that can't be healed. It's only our belief that it can't be healed that is stopping it. And that's on the collective through the Aquarian. That's our personal dramas and traumas. Could be, you know, incorporated to our physical health, you know. But there's nothing that can't be healed. It's only our insistence on, you know, hanging on to, no, it's this, you know, clinging to our fears, our traumas, our wounds, you know. If you keep picking that scab, it's never going to heal, you know. You gotta let it, you gotta give it, gotta believe in it, you've gotta allow it. You've got to let it. It's not burying it. But there's some really deep stuff coming through with this, and it's subtle. Even though Pluto is usually not very subtle at all. In this contact with Neptune, it would appear to be subtle, but there are big changes going on in the psyche of the human race, in the psyche of the planet, in the connections to inner consciousness, higher dimensions, you know, spiritual beings. It's not necessarily religion, you know. Religion has definitely been the main, you know, paradigm for spiritual beliefs for a long time. This is bigger than that, much bigger than that. This is deeper than that, much deeper than that. This comes through us and our inner soul, heart, astral being. not from some outside source pointing the finger and telling you how you're a sinner or you're impure or stuff like that. Okay, I got a little bit off the beaten path there, but yeah, it's interesting. So it's like a, you know, it's a big time awakening, this second Aquarian thing. Big time awakening. Big time enlightenment, big time awakening. That could be the absolute most powerful, positive expression of the second full moon in Aquarius. Again, think back to that July 23rd time frame, because there could be some things that are coming full circle and quickly. You know, that's the thing. Uranus rules this, so things, bam, quick. Uranus is quick, happen at lightning speed, really fast. Change in an instant. Everything can change in an instant. And, you know, for those of you that are into, like, jumping timelines, we could absolutely be jumping major timelines here. You know, we could be jumping, it's almost with the 29 degrees, I believe it's just like this portal to, you know, let's jump to the highest possible timeline available. Let's live our best lives collectively, all of us. Let's join together. Come together right now over me. Yeah, the guides are showing up. The band's all here. The guides are showing the rock. Just when I'm about to stop the reading, here comes the rock and roll guides are coming through. But that might be the song for, if I had to pick a song, I guess that would be the song for this. Hey, by the way, if you want to get it in a reading from me, I am open for the Libra Ingress. If you like the way I do the astrology reading, that is primarily an astrology reading. I do pull an animal totem. It's for the upcoming season. It'll cover from the Libra Ingress till the end of the year. Looks at the astrology transits that are going on in your chart. And I also, if you are interested in the higher spiritual soul stuff, I do that soul reading, and that is definitely, it has to do with like past life and your soul mission and what you're working on and your karmic lessons. And it's based in astrology, but it's very much a psychic reading also. And I have the other traditional readings and the art and all the other stuff, but journals. Pick up a journal for $6 and some change, really beautiful for school or whatever the case may be. By doing all this stuff that you guys do, it's so grateful and appreciated, because that's what keeps the channel going and keeps things rolling. And if you do like my content, please do hit that subscribe button, because that signals the likes and subscribes. That signals that almighty YouTube algorithm to get me in the mix and share my message with more people. And I've always appreciated that oh so much. Remember that you are love and beauty incarnate. Have the best full moon in Aquarius, and we'll talk again soon. Bye.